welcome to part 7 of the Camaro build-up. Made some pretty good progress on the vehicle, considering I haven't really been able to spend a great deal of time building this at the moment. We've got all of the wheels on the car now. The engine is obviously in. We've got all of the decals on the front end there now, which is absolutely fantastic. Last couple of jobs really under the engine bay now, everything's in, is just to sort out these HT leads and these heater hoses. Once that's done, that'll be the engine bay completely sorted out. So that's really going to be kind of one of my next little jobs. Also working on the front grille and headlight assembly, and as we can see there, we've got one headlamp in already. And we've also got the Z-28 badge in there as well, and you can hopefully see we've got a few little wires hanging in from the headlamp as well, which means that we've got some lighting going on in there. I haven't actually tested the whole thing yet. I'm going to just wait until I get this one put in before we do that any further. I'm just waiting for the clear glue to dry on the lens there before I put that in, but that's going quite well, to be fair. So we're nearly there. We're up to step number 14 on this at the moment, which is great news. That means that we don't have too much further to go. Some of the decals that are on the bodywork, like the Camaro badges, etc., I'm not going to bother putting those on, just so it kind of looks a little bit smoother more than anything else, really. But yeah, we're getting there, slowly but surely. So I just really can't wait to start getting this together. Still need to start working on the electrics at the back end there, but you know, that's going to take a couple of minutes really, just to get the wires sorted out for that. Just need to buy a battery clip thing, you know, one of these things that go on the end of there as well, so we can get that sort of put in and start testing the lighting on it. But yeah, we're getting close now, which is good news. We've only got a few more bits and pieces to do on the body itself. Just got to do all the chrome trimming on that now, which I shall most probably get done in the next couple of days, hopefully. Once that's done, we just need to let that dry for a little while. I'll then be able to get the glass in, and once the glass is in, I'll then be able to get the roof lining painted as well. I just need to get that done. I'll be doing that in the red. So that's good news. The other good thing is I've got some paints in for my next model. I've been speaking to one of the other guys on YouTube, Mark Mulliner, I think his surname is. I apologise, Mark, if I got your surname wrong there. But we've just been back and forth for a little bit talking about paints and stuff. And I've decided to try a different type of paint for my next build, which is from a company called Zero Paints. So it'll be the first time I've done this. I got these from, well, I got these online actually, to be fair. This one is a pearlescent orange, so that's the shade of colour that the Shelby GT500 is being done in. And as you can see, everything really does settle to the bottom of that. You can see the golds and everything coming through. These paints are pre-thinned, so they're ready to use straight to your airbrush. I also decided that whilst I'm trying that, I might as well try their primer as well, just to see what that's like. And again, you've got a little ball bearing in the end of that one. And the other one that I've decided to try as well is their what they call their 2-pack clear coat system. I don't know why they call it a 2-pack, because there's actually 3 bottles in there. So you've got the gloss clear coat, you've also got the hardener, and then you've got the thinner as well. So yeah, I'm going to give that a go and see what that's like. There is a guy, I think he's based in America, Scale Modeler channel. he just purely uses zero paints as far as I can remember. I think he does use a few others as well for other details, but you know, mainly for the bodywork, etc. He will just use the zero paints. So yeah, I'm going to give that a go on my next build just to see what they're like. But I'm hoping that they're going to be pretty awesome. I've also decided with the stripes on the GT that they're going to be done in the pearlescent orange, but they're just going to have a drop of a pearlescent white added to it just to bring the tone down just slightly. Because what I'm going to try and do with those is I'm going to just try and go for like a ghost stripe if I can. So it's just, you know, maybe half a shade lighter than the actual bodywork itself. So it's kind of a case of you'd have to really look at it to see if you to see the stripes or to notice them. But we'll talk more about that when we get to the GT500, because I don't want to start confusing it with the Camaro build that I'm working on. But yeah, just a bit excited that those paints come in. They're not a bad price actually. 60mm pre-thin paint, I think it was about £6 a pop. The 2-pack clear coat system, that was I think about £14 for all 3 bottles, which again isn't that bad, to be quite honest. So you know, I'm looking forward to using those on the next build. So hopefully we'll see what they're like. We'll see if the light grey primer is as good as the Tamiya primer. You know, just to see if that's actually sandable as well. So I think it's always good to try and mix up the paints that you use. I mean, I usually normally use sort of Tamiya paints, to be fair. You know, because I do find that they're the best ones. I have used Alclad in the past as well. Some of the Alclad paints are really good. So yeah, I just use these as well, see what they're like, and hopefully we can come up with a pretty spiffy finish on the model itself. So that's about it for the moment, guys. I will catch up with you in a little bit once I've got some more work done to this wee beastie. Got some more work done to the car that I thought I'd share with you. I'll start with the bumpers actually. The rear bumper itself, there was quite a lot of crap in the chrome actually on this side. So I had no choice really but to sort of sand it out. I think it was actually in the plastic itself, but I had no choice but to sand it out. What I ended up doing as well whilst I was there was that you had the sort of the bolts that were on there on sort of like either side, you know, the bolts that would actually attach the bumper to the body of the car. So what I've done in kind of chip foo style really is just remove those bolts as well on both sides of the bumper. And there were some mould lines as well that were on that side and also on that side there as well that I wasn't really happy with, so I've removed those. What I'm going to do with that is just put that in bleach just to get rid of the rest of the chrome. And whilst I was there, I decided to do the same treatment to the front bumper as well. There was a couple of areas of chrome that I weren't that happy with on the front bumper as well, so I also just decided to remove the little nubbins on there, which represent the bolts to keep it on the bumper. But yeah, I mean that would go, I think that's would go up that way like so. So what I'm going to do once the chrome's been removed from those sorry, excuse me, once I've removed the chrome from those, I will then just decant some of the chrome from this pen into my airbrush and just re-chrome them and do it like that. I think that's going to be the easiest way. I'm glad that old Tom at Rambler 69 sort of put me onto that pen. It's rather handy. So thank you very much for that, Tom. You've definitely saved my bacon on that one. The other thing is we've got the grille in place with the lights as well, which is absolutely fantastic. That's looking good. It helps to make it look like a front end of a car. I'm just currently working on these two as well. I've got, well, I've been doing some research online really, because I didn't know whether these were meant to be spotlights or whether they were meant to be turn signals. or indicators as we would call them in the UK. And I saw a number of cars where those lights were just, you know, like a white light, as though they were a spotlight. And then I've seen others where they were amber, which to me would, no pun intended, but indicate that it was a turn signal. So what I've done is I've just done them in amber. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. But I've kind of gone with the amber because I would presume that, you know, that's what they would be. All cars need to have turn signals on the front and the rear. So I've just decided to do them in the amber. So I'm just waiting for the paint to dry on the inside of those. I've got the SMDs in place, and I'm just waiting for the, as I say, for the clear orange paint to dry on those. As soon as that's dried off, I'll then be able to put the clear lens in and get those in place. Whilst I'm waiting for that, I've also been working on the rear lenses as well. Let's have a look. We can see we've got some chrome on those as well. So they're done. So I just need to wait for those to dry. I've also gone ahead and done some work on the rear lights as well. As you can see there, we've got two SMDs in place, two red SMDs on the back there, and I'll put some tulip on the back just to help light block it, and then hopefully you can see the little holes there. It's just enough of a gap really to let the light through, to get the light to shine through onto the rear lights. Obviously we don't need to go, I don't want to be over bright on those, plus the fact it should hopefully just light up the back lights just enough to do that with I reckon a 470 resistor on those. That should be fine. But yeah, these lights are wired in, so what I'll do is I will just attach the resistor to the battery that I've got there, and hopefully they'll both come on. There we go. So they're both on, as you can see. It is daylight, I know, but if we turn the lights off, you might get a little bit of a bit of a better look at them. That was easy for me to say as well, bit of a tongue twister. So that's what they're looking like. There we go. Let's just hold the battery in place, or the resistor into the battery. So that's what they're looking like. Looking pretty good. I think as I say, what we're going to need to do, or once I've got these two front lights in place, the turn signals or whatever they are, I'll get those in place. They'll be fully lit up as well, because I've noticed that on some cars in the US where the turn signals also sort of like hack to the side light sort of thing. So I'm going to have those permanently switched on. So hopefully when I get those in, I'll be able to take a nighttime shot for you, so you can actually see what they look like in the dark. Both of the bulbs that are in there as well, they're pretty much well dead on center as well, which is fantastic. It was kind of a bit hard to see what I was doing, where I was putting the drill bit to actually drill out the center of the headlamps there, because you've just got the drill bit's been reflected all over the place, so you don't know whether you're hitting true center or not. But yeah, it looks as though I've actually got it pretty much all spot on there. But that's about it for the moment, guys. I will leave it there, and I will come back to you as soon as all of the front lights and the rear lights are in place.